Good evening, glad that you are watching your channel of choice on the news tonight. Tonight, AP Ruto's convoy disrupted by rowdy youth who are chanting ODM slogans. After the incident, other leaders have put their differences aside and condemned the violence, calling on police to investigate and arrest culprits. Josh Onsare begins our broadcast tonight.
Jadhuru wa umma. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Simunisalimie hewani hivi nione watu wa Kisumu dala.
Kondele, Kisumu County remained a no-go zone momentarily as police engaged a group of rowdy youth who stoned Deputy President's convoy on his day 2 tour of the Luo Nyanza region.
Mambo ya kutupa mawe tuache kutupa mawe.
The youth who had been camping at the DP's venue chanted ODM slogans as they threw stones in all directions.
And we want to tell the leaders who have organized young people to throw stones, shame on them.
Police lobbed tear gas canisters to disperse the uncontrollable crowd as residents who had come to attend the rally were seen scampering for their safety.
Watu wengi wamejitokeza Kisumu na tumepanga mambo ya maendeleo ya hapa Kisumu.
The Deputy President, who is in Nyanza to push his bottom-up approach agenda, has however turned his guns on politicians he says had organized the mayhem.
Kenya ya kupigana mawe sio Kenya ambayo tunahitaji. Sawa sawa. Sawa sawa watu wa Kondele.
The incident has attracted mixed reactions from leaders. Nakuru County Governor has condemned the fracas, calling the country's security apparatus to investigate and apprehend the perpetrators.
I think it's also time to say that we cannot tolerate these acts of violence. Whenever they happen, wherever they happen, the perpetrators must be brought to book. So that all of us, wherever we want to campaign, whether you are young, you are old or disabled, the only thing you need to worry is the agenda and manifesto to give to your people.
The Office of the Inspector General of Police has acknowledged the incident that slowed the DP's campaign in Kisumu County. Through its communication director, Bruno Shioso, the police say they were notified to calm the situation. He further said nobody was hurt as the DP continued with his tour of the region.
Mimi nataka niseme hivi. Kwanza nataka niseme asante sana kwa kunikaribisha hapa Kisumu. Sawa sawa.
Josh Onsare, TV 47.
Elsewhere, ODM boss Raila Odinga has continued to make inroads in the Mount Kenya region ahead of the 2022 polls. The ODM boss today received defectors from various political parties at Chungwa House in Nairobi, most of whom are drawn from Meru County. The former Prime Minister, who is seeking to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta, has promised to ensure inclusivity in the next government and also ensure a better working environment. Paul Kirobi reports.
Your Excellency, moja kwa moja kutufungulia jamvi la mazungumzo haya. Etonga Muko, karibu tafadhali.
Former Prime Minister's journey to the top of the mountain is gaining momentum. The ODM boss today receiving a section of members representing different political parties drawn from Meru County. Odinga insisting that he has been a friend of the mountain before and this is the time to subscribe to his rallying call of Azimio la Umoja.
Juzi huko Meru, wengine wanakama sema ati kupanda milima ni ngumu sana. Watu wa kutoka huko ziwani huko hawezi kupanda milima. Mimi kawaambia mimi jina yangu ingine naitwa Tinga Tinga. Na tinga tinga na wheelbarrow gani naweza kupanda milima haraka?
Asante sana. Na Mheshimiwa Raila, unajua walikuwa wanasema wewe huwezi kupanda mlima. Sasa wakati umepanda mlima na hao Wameru walikuwa kule, wengine wameanza kutuambia ati unaweza panda mlima mpaka juu, lakini watu hawako huko. Kwani nyinyi watu ya Mount Kenya mnabebwa kwa mifuko ya watu? Mnabebwa kwa mifuko ya watu?
The passion he has for this country, the persistence he has been having. In fact, thank you so much. Many could have given up. They could have given up, say, wacha ikae. But he has been persistent, which means God has something in him.
Raila, nimemuobserve miaka karibu 7 sasa. Wakati tunaenda huko na ndugu yangu, namwangalia, najua sasa ni kitu kingine mbaya. Kwa sababu sometimes you don't use your common sense. Unajua, lakini hutaki kweli. Si ni kweli?
Speaking while receiving the new members, the ODM leader promised a better Kenya if elected president next year. One of his agenda being creating an enabling environment that will shift the mindset of the masses from being job seekers to job creators.
Ukienda kule kama Marekani, Uingereza, watu wataka kufanya kazi ya serikali. Wanataka kufanya kazi zingine, mwanake mshahara iko mingi huko kwenye private sector. Hapana kwa serikali. Lakini hapo watu ndio hii serikali wa Mungu hakuna huko ndani. Huko sisi kama Elmuru hatuna mtu na kadhalika. Hayo yote tunataka kubadilisha.
Wengine wote wanaenda kwa nini hiyo moja. Sisi at least something the Merus always think of our family and they give us votes. So for that we are very grateful. But this time round, Wameru, tunataka nyinyi tuungane pamoja in large numbers na tuchukue serikali na tutakuwa na nyinyi, tutakuwa part of the government 100%.
Meanwhile, his main opponent, Deputy President William Ruto, has dared to conquer Odinga's political backyard and will be camping in Nyanza region for 3 days. Paul Kirobi, TV47, Nairobi.
Kwa hivyo upige makofi mazuri na unaweka smile ile nzuri.
Moving on to General Service Unit police officers in the ranks of constables were this afternoon shot dead, while their chief inspector was injured in the banditry attack near the border between Kamwenje and Laikipia Nature Conservancy. The officers were patrolling Kamwenje area, which borders Baringo County, when they were attacked by the suspected bandits. Rift Valley Regional Police Commander Fred Ochieng confirmed that there was an attack that led to fatalities and injuries, but could not divulge further details. According to the local residents, over 50 police officers were patrolling the Laikipia-Baringo border when they were attacked by the suspected bandits. The shooting brings to 7 the number of security officers who have been killed by bandits in the last 2 weeks. Let's get to matters education, and the Ministry of Education has directed school heads to ensure that any student involved in any form of indiscipline will not be allowed to transfer to any other school. The Ministry of Education also says it will not meet the cost of reconstructing destroyed school property arising from acts of arson. Our Senior Education Affairs reporter Sharon Baranga reports.
For days now, officials from the Ministry of Education and education stakeholders have been up and down trying to quell the ongoing unrest in secondary schools that have resulted to injuries in some cases, damage to school property, and abrupt stop to learning. On Wednesday, the Ministry of Education released a circular where a number of measures meant to help curb the unrest were listed. In the circular, school heads have been directed to ensure all students involved in any form of indiscipline are not allowed to transfer to any other school, and so schools are not to admit students who have not been released formally by their previous schools. Sentiments that the chair of the Kenya Secondary School Heads Association agrees with.
Let people learn that the 2 students from school A who banned have been blocked from joining any institution, and there is a letter that can circulate to that effect. They have been shortlisted with the DCI, and that they cannot even get their certificate of good conduct.
Tusivumilie watoto kuharibu mashule. Tusikubali. Itachukua muda mrefu sana kujenga haya mashule tena. Tunataka tuongezee madarasa, sio kujenga shule nzima.
The boards of management are to ensure there is adequate and enhanced security around dormitories in a 24-hour basis. The boards of management are also to work closely with officers from Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government to ensure adequate security is provided to schools. Heads of schools have also been directed to open up accessible channels of communication for adequate and seamless engagement with learners.
We want to request our children to calm down and please not to take, or rather to take that direction we have seen of banning the schools. Maana twajua wakichoma shule, iyo msiko tena inarudia wasasi.
The Ministry of Education also says it will not meet the cost of reconstructing destroyed school property arising from acts of arson. Meanwhile, Butere Boys High School has been closed for 12 days following a failed attempt by suspected students to burn their dormitory.
They were able to find a 5-liter jerrycan of paraffin, which has been handed over to the police for further investigation.
So police walienda huko kwa haraka, na wakiwa huko ilibainika kwamba wanafunzi walikuwa wamemwaga mafuta ya taa katika bweni. Kuna wanafunzi wachache wanaandika taarifa. Hata hiyo tutachua mwelekeo ni nini.
The Ministry of Education has said that no school will be closed due to the unrest. Sharon Baranga, TV 47.
Thank you, our senior education affairs reporter Sharon Baranga, for that report. You're watching TV 47 News Tonight. Talk to us, send us a message on 22047. The hashtag to use is News Tonight. Time for us to take a short break. We still have a lot lined up for you, but up next. Coming up, Kwale County added in the list of 23 counties affected by the ongoing drought in the country.
Serikali inaangalia nchi nzima na imetoa shilingi bilioni 1.2 kwa kuweza kununua chakula ya kuweza kusambaza kwa kaunti zote ambazo ziko na tatizo la upungufu wa chakula.
You are watching TV. Entrepreneurs around the country are creatively grinding.
I started with a borrowed phone.
A borrowed phone?
Yeah, that could last 2 hours with charge.
We just have to do quality work for them.
To make their mark in an unpredictable market.
It was now going on a sales venture, looking for stockists door to door.
On the grind, we bring you their stories so you can tell yours. Every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Men are known to be the pillars.
We're rising up together.
Say your point. You need an alpha male now to come and help you and your girl.
Hi, anaongea zero.
women, they are the cornerstone that hold the pillars.
Don't be entitled. A man is peaceful, a man knows how to talk to a lady.
This November, the Men's Conference brings a cocktail of diverse ladies to weigh in on various matters.
Something I'd love more to see is men being able to exist as themselves.
Tune in every Wednesday at 10 p.m.
Hello guys, and welcome to Night In with Joy Irungu. Joy Irungu. Joy Irungu.
Heartbreak, pain, and tears have been a major part of Night In Season 1. We thank you for being with us.
More news. And the Law Society of Kenya, LSK, in conjunction with human rights organizations and Muslim leaders, has today led in a peaceful protest in Nairobi to demand an end to forced disappearances, abductions, and extrajudicial killings. LSK says their members are in danger as they have become soft target of abductions resulting from the work they do. Mwangi Maina has the details.
As the Law Society of Kenya and other human rights organizations observe the Purple Ribbon Week in solidarity with victims of enforced disappearances, a section of the pressure group today held peaceful demonstrations in Nairobi to call for an end of this vice before presenting petitions to the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Attorney General, and the Inspector General of Police. According to LSK CEO Mercy Wambua, lawyers and advocates have been the latest targets of abductions and enforced disappearances simply for representing various suspects in court.
An advocate is kidnapped in South Sea, broad daylight. 2 vehicles block his vehicles, he's removed from his vehicle, and it disappears in thin air. To date, no one has been arrested, and no substantive report has been given in terms of the status of the investigations of this case.
An advocate should never be associated with his client or the complaints that have been made against a client. And so to intimidate advocates so that they are afraid to defend certain victims means that tomorrow, when you are under attack, there would be no one to investigate you, to protect you.
Muslim leaders and human rights activists who participated in the peaceful protests have urged Kenyans to speak out on the vice amid a growing concern of what they say is a total disregard of human rights in the country.
Na wasihi wa Kenya wote wasiwe na hofu, na wasihi kila mmoja katika sekta tofauti wazungumze pale ambapo kwamba inavyowezekana. Kama vile mawakili leo wamejitokeza, ikiwa sisi tumezungumza ndani ya bunge, vyama ambavyo kwamba si vya kisiasa, vyama ambavyo kwamba si vya kiserikali vimeweza kutoa kilio chao, ni lazima kila Mkenya sauti yake iweze kusikika.
We are tired receiving bodies, unknown people, unknown Kenyans who have been dumped in the rivers of this country. We are tired getting individuals picked up and tomorrow they are dumped in the bushes in the forest with a token of 2,000 or 1,000 shillings given to them to find their ways to their homes.
There's a cartel of criminals which is operating within the security network of this country. This cartel is well known. If it is not known, the government would have spoken about it and would have taken action against it. Their silence definitely means that they have been given the go-ahead and the government pretends that they are not part of it.
Lawyers' lives matter.
Lawyers' lives matter.
People's lives matter.
In the joint petition, the LSK wants the Inspector General of Police to initiate a conclusive investigation and apprehension of all those involved in forceful disappearances, as well as urging the National Assembly to ratify and adopt the International Convention on the Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearances. However, the National Police Service has denied any involvement in the enforced disappearances.
But we are doing all we can as a law enforcement agency, we should partner with you to make sure that all Kenyans are safe, their property is okay, and those persons who are missing, proper investigations are carried on, and they are found so that they can be reunited back to their families.
Meanwhile, the LSK wants clear answers into the mystery surrounding the abduction and the subsequent release of Professor Hassan Nandwa.
Lawyers power! Defenders power!
As cases of enforced disappearances continue to hit the headlines, the Law Society of Kenya wants the Inspector General of Police, Parliament and the Office of the Attorney General to act on these enforced disappearances and bring those involved into book. Mwangi Maina, TV47, Nairobi.
Elsewhere, the electoral body IEBC has revealed that it registered a paltry 1.5 million voters during the 5-week-long mass voter registration exercise. There was a low turnout of those enlisting as new voters, despite the commission setting up registration centers even in remote areas across the country. Grace Josephine reports.
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has registered 1.5 million new voters by close of its Enhanced Continuous Voter Registration or ECVR exercise, which began on October 4th and ended on November 5th, 2021. Through a press statement, IEBC Chairperson of Chebukati confirmed that the new voters account for only a quarter of the targeted 6 million eligible voters. New voter statistics will be subjected to a deduplication process against the existing 19.6 million voters. This, as another 421,000 registered voters are pledged to be transferred from their current registration centers to new ones. Across the counties, Nairobi, Nakuru, Kiambu, Kakamega and Kisii recorded the highest number of new voters, while Lamu, Isiolo, Samburu, Laikipia and Tana River recorded the least. Meanwhile, the Commission has announced that none of the 89 political parties which submitted to the Commission party nomination rules has fully complied with the legal requirements. Some of the regulations include fair nomination processes and observance of the 2/3 gender rule. All political parties are required to submit the revised nomination rules by Tuesday, the 16th of November 2021, failure to which they shall not be eligible to participate in the 2022 general elections. Grace Josephine reporting for TV47.
Now, Makueni County is set to host the 7th annual Devolution Conference at Makueni Boys High School. The conference is expected to start on the 23rd to the 26th of this month and will focus on climate change. An intergovernmental multi-agency team visited the school earlier today. Take a look.
As the chair of the organizing committee for this conference, I would want to tell you that everything is in place. All the speakers will be around. There will even be international speakers. But we are also giving opportunities to the local people here. There are opportunities for local people, even up to Boda and the Mamamboga and so on. They will also be given an opportunity to talk during this conference.
Glasgow meeting, climate change meeting, is ongoing, is about to end. We are lucky as a country to host the first subnational, the first meeting, the national meeting, but dealing with subnational climate change issues. So actually this will be a very important meeting to discuss climate change at the subnational level or devolved level or county level.
Well, from Makueni County, you are watching the county's television. Let's get to Murang'a County now, and the burial ceremony of 3 members of the same family from Gakurwe in Kiharu constituency, Murang'a County, constituency in Murang'a County, who perished in a road accident last week along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway was halted this morning following family dispute. Mike Gwongo reports.
The burial of 3 family members who perished in an accident last week failed to take place after Kin moved to court, seeking orders to stop it over a land tussle. The accident at Jeraya Genia along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway claimed the lives of William Kamau Gashadha, his wife Jane Joki, and their daughters Rhoda, Jerry, and Evelyn Waithera, who were headed to a burial. However, in unclear circumstances, Hannah Jerry Gashadha moved to court, seeking orders restraining the burial of the three, on the grounds that the land where they were to be buried belongs to her.
Waende kwa shamba yao, hii ni shamba ya shosho na iko na wenyewe. Sasa hatuwezi kubali mazishi endelee, juu hii ni shamba ya shosho na ako hai, lazima tumuride.
Wednesday morning, tension was high as it was anticipated that chaos might erupt after the grave where the three were to be laid to rest was filled back at night and 3 banana plants planted. The grandchildren stood firm that the burial will not take place.
Lakini ni makosa juu huyu mtu ako na shamba yake. Na sasa kwa hii shamba ya nyanya yangu iliachwa na ikaachwa mtoto wake mwenye alifariki. Sasa wananyang'anya mama mwenye ana bwana shamba. Sasa tunajulisha haki ya mtu kama huyo inafaitiwa na nani?
The bodies of the three were taken back to Montezuma Funeral Home, awaiting court's decision.
We have never been in this kind of a situation again, in all respects. In all respects meaning, kwa vile wenzetu walienda, but also more importantly, we know even what is surrounding this event today.
God is doing something behind the scene. The Gishada's family, may the good Lord start with you even at this time.
Mike Kagwongo, TV 47.
You are watching TV 47, the home of untold stories. Entrepreneurs around the country are creatively grinding.
I started with a borrowed phone.
A borrowed phone?
Yeah, that could last 2 hours with charge.
We just have to do quality work for them.
To make their mark in an unpredictable market.
It was now going on a sales venture, looking for stockists door to door.
On the grind, we bring you their stories so you can tell yours. Every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Men are known to be the pillars.
We're rising up together.
Say your point.
You need an alpha male now to come and help you and your girl.
Anaongea zero.
And women, they are the cornerstone that hold the pillars.
Don't be entitled. A man is peaceful, a man knows how to talk to a lady.
This November, the Men's Conference brings a cocktail of diverse ladies to weigh in on various matters.
Something I'd love more to see is men being able to exist as themselves.
Tune in every Wednesday at 10 p.m.
Hello guys, and welcome to Night In with Joy Irungu. Joy Irungu.
Heartbreak, pain, and tears have been a major part of Night In Season 1. We thank you for being with us on this journey, and for this upcoming season, we will bring you more empowering stories that not everyone is talking about.
This is the only show where we keep it authentic. We share our lifetime experiences, and you know what? Tell every person that you can turn your pain into power.
Join Joy Irungu on Night In as we take the brave step of sharing.
The road to 2022 is becoming tougher.
Nyuma ya wheelbarrow kuna economic model.
And trickier with each passing day.
Niliwaambia washushe chini bei ya mafuta.
Political aspirants in a dilemma whether to change allegiance or not.
How has Raila and the handshake made Jubilee lose focus?
You've seen Raila Odinga flying military choppers.
Our people have never been called to Uhuru Park to unite. They have always united out of their own volition. Reduce your madness.
Kenyans are suffering.
Would it be fair to conclude? I don't want your station to be sued. That Jubilee government has never been able to sponsor any successful project.
Every Monday at 9:30 p.m., Pundits Night brings you inclusive and candid conversations with the pundits.
Tasty. 100. Yani chumvi imeonja kabisa, like you do not need to add anything.
Yes. So the first thing you need as a beekeeper is a beehive.
Yes. Even though I know I won't read the
Untold stories.
Welcome back to TV47 News Tonight. Thank you for staying with us. Now, as the world prepares to mark the World AIDS Day on the 1st of December 2021, the government through the Ministry of Health has pledged to make available the drugs by the end of January 2022. Elizabeth Atieno reports.
In April this year, Kenya experienced an acute shortage of the antiretroviral drugs ARVs, which hit public hospitals greatly, affecting people living with HIV and AIDS. Today, people living with HIV and AIDS have a reason to smile after the government announced plans to make the drug available by the end of January 2022. Through a press statement, Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe stated that the Ministry of Health yesterday held a meeting with representatives of people living with HIV and AIDS and came up with the following resolutions. That the government will expedite the commodities procurement process and have the commodities in 3 to 4 weeks, and that the government will explore local manufacturing for sustainable supply in future. On Monday, the National AIDS Control Council and the National Council for Population and Development released the latest data on the spread of HIV in Kenya, raising concerns over the spread of the virus, especially amongst teenagers.
We start politics of sexuality of adolescents. Today, if I stood here and tell you that countries that stop HIV give information and comprehensive information to their children about sex, you're going to condemn me and say that